the way he crafts it, it's genius. I mean, it was on demand, so I demanded it. It's been so long since I've seen it that you forget certain parts.
Yeah.
Like it sucks.
Yeah.
It's so basic, and then he just goes on for a couple minutes about he saw a guy with a Discman.
Yeah.
And he just does like 5 minutes on a Discman. And it's like just real basic stuff. It's very clever.
Now, with that said, I'm going to dive into a segment that I have.
Okay.
It's called Out of the Blue Questions. They're completely out of the blue.
Ooh, it'd be like talking to my wife.
They don't make sense at all. So
I'm in trouble now when I get home.
First,
too, by the way.
yeah, I know. Don't show her this part.
No.
This was the other Jim Young.
This is Steve Young.
Yeah, his doppelganger.
Steve Young's back.
Steve Young's back.
Exactly.
This Young's a lefty.
Yeah.
But first of all, out of the blue question number 1, out of the Karate Kids, which was the better fighter, Julie-san or Daniel-san?
You almost have to go with Hilary Swank.
Yeah.
Because she became a boxer. And she was way tougher than Ralph Macchio. But I'm not sure if she could hold off the crane kick.
Yeah.
That was
pretty cool.
And then the drum technique. So all very basic things that apparently Ralph Macchio had that special quality that when he moved in slow motion, other people slowed down with him, which allowed him to pull off those moves.
Everything went slow.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Why are you moving so? Now I'm moving slowly.
Yeah. It's like, well, I got to get the crane kick.
Exactly. Hold on a second while I set this up.
Hold on 2 hours.
I know.
Yeah.
Mr. Miyagi, get over here and give me a hand. I need some balance.
All I can hear now is that dun 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 dun.
Such awfully great movies, though.
Yeah.
They really were.
But out of the blue question number 2, out of the Three Stooges, who was the best Stooge?
I never really watched the Three Stooges.
Yeah.
But I guess everyone kind of goes with Curly. That's because he's so ironic that he has no hair.
Yeah.
But it's called Curly.
And since you don't know too much about the Stooges, a little Three Stooges fact of knowledge. Curly actually had hair, and he was like a composer for this concert band music. And the original Three Stooges were Moe, Larry, and Shemp. And I think Shemp got like sick or something for a little while. And then they needed someone else, so they went to Curly, the third brother, because Larry's a cousin, Larry Fine. And he came and they shaved his head off, and he's like, well, I'm not too curly now.
And it just took off from there.
And that's how he got his nickname, too.
See, now I've learned. Shawn Hansen, you have taught me.
I have taught you.
I've been taught.
Thank you, Jim-san. Oh, wow, that's great. So, out of the blue question number 3, I put a tie on each time I come on my TV show.
Okay.
I am 9 for 9 in getting ties correctly put on.
Oh.
Like, they're not too short, it's not too long.
Do you, I don't mean to jump in here, but do you Google how to tie it? Because I'm that nerd.
I did the first time I ever put on a tie, like 6 or 7 years ago.
I think I did the first 10 times. And the next time I wear a tie will be 11, so I'll probably still do it.
So I was going to ask you, how many times does it take you to tie a tie?
Even with the graphic in front of me?
Yeah.
3, 4. It's a very frustrating thing. Because then I get it right, and I'm like, all right, next time I'm going to be golden. Then it's a couple months between wearing them, and I put it back on again, and next thing you know, I'm in front of the computer. How to tie necktie. It's a little sad, but
it's funny. I was actually at college the first time, at Dean College in 2005, and I printed the graphic out, and I like taped it to my closet wall.
See, I didn't think of that, but that's ingenious. You have taught me again, Shawn Hansen.
Oh, wow.
I have been taught.
It's like this is a class.
It is. I should have brought my notebook.
Well, you can write down notes.
I'm gonna need the transcript. Who do I have to talk to for this?
I know. I don't know who works for me. It's pretty bad, right?
You have to pull some strings for me. See
exactly.
If you can't make that work out.
It's funny. You have taught me. What else can I teach you?
I know.
Let's see.
What do I need? What do I need to improve in my life? I guess is probably the next question.
Okay, so I've never asked 4 out of the blue questions, but out of the blue question number 4, I don't think you'll know what I'm going to ask you.
This is uncharted territory. Well, that's why it's out of the blue, right?
Yep.
So I don't know.
What do you have to improve in your life?
Oh, he sets them up and knocks them down. Let's see. Oh, I need to get an inspection sticker on my car.
Yeah.
For starters, that's almost coming up on its 15-month anniversary.
Oh man.
Yeah. So I could probably, if I knew how to fix my car,
yeah.
I'd be able to get one. So.
Oh man, I wish I was handy like that and could fix my car whenever I needed to.
That'd be the way to go because it's too expensive.
Or just do everything pretty much. If you need gas, just snap your thumb a certain way.
I know. Just ground up some corn.
Yeah, exactly.
Mix it with some vegetable oil, stick it in there, the ethanol. Come on.
Exactly. So tell me per week, how many times would you go out on stage, and do you mostly go to the studio now, or what other clubs have you performed at?
I try to get out. Right now, there's so much stuff going on with work, and then trying not to neglect my wife.
Yep.
And we're actually looking for a house right now too, so I try to get out once a week at least, sometimes 2, and then if I have a big show coming up though, and I need to get a little more extra time, and then I'll break out. But yeah, so that's mostly for that. But other clubs I've done, I've done Riley Matthews' Room, the Varsity Club, a couple times.
Where's that?
It's in Quincy.
Yeah. I'll
actually be there again next month, I believe, on the 19th.
Wow.
So that's a good room. And then mostly a lot of my shows I'm in the studio. I did a show for Ben Keefe. I don't know if you've met yet.
Yeah, I met Ben Keefe.
Yeah, I did his show at URI last October, actually a week after I got back from my honeymoon. So.
Oh wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, and a lot of it's just right now is the studio, but I'm trying to once I get my site finally up and running, I'm going to try to branch out. I'd like to get down to the Comedy Connection in Providence and a couple other places, Nick's, things like that.
And speaking of that website, just tell our audience what that website is, what they can expect on it so far, and you're developing it. So what are you going to add in the future?
Yeah, it's jimyoungcomedy.com. Right now, what you'll find is a very pretty graphic that I lifted offline in my Twitter and Facebook address. Eventually, I want it to be a little more interactive. I'll have, try to figure maybe, something along the lines of like a caption contest, just something where people will come back. It's going to have a blog, which everyone in the world has a blog, but it won't just necessarily be talking about things that I'm doing during the day.
Yeah.
The last time I had a blog for a little bit, I did a lot of movie reviews, but really long, spoiler-like reviews on just really awful movies.
Yeah.
So if you love awful movies and you like to see people make fun of them, I'm your man.
And what's the latest movie you made fun of?
It's been a little while, but the last one I did was for Nicolas Cage's The Knowing.
Oh yeah.
Which was just.
And what's a little like a sentence or two out of that blog?
Well, I can tell you that the title of the blog post was I went in just knowing it would be bad. So. Yeah,
so did you know that from the preview?
It's Nicolas Cage, and he was playing an MIT professor, so the odds of it being good were very, very minimal.
What about in '97 when Face Off came out?
Face Off was a quality movie. That was a good bad movie.
Yeah, a good bad movie.
Yeah, when they went to that was the one with the prison where they had the magnetic boots. Yeah, so you can't go wrong.
With Travolta too.
Exactly.
So it was pretty good.
Yeah, no, that was a good one.
Yeah.
But so other than that, on the site, I'm going to have all my videos of the shows that I do.
That's good.
I'll have some audio. I did a internet radio show on unregularradio.com a couple weeks ago.
Okay,
so
with Chris Timoney and everybody?
Not the Big Sauce show.
Yeah.
It was actually Riley Matthews' show.
Oh, the Riley Matthews. Okay.
Yep. So I have the audio for that I'll post, and just whatever else that I do that I can get my hands on. So it'll be I'm going to try to make that the hub of me.
The hub of Boston.
The hub of me.
The hub of Jim Young.
Exactly.
Not Steve Young.
Not Steve Young, Jim Young.
Yeah.
Steve Young comedy was taken, I think.
Oh boy. And so you want to eventually go down to Rhode Island to the Comedy Connection down there. And have you been to the Wilbur Theater or maybe?
I have. I like the old one better.
Yeah.
The old Comedy Connection in Faneuil Hall better. But then again, if I ever get to the point where I can, where I'm playing the Wilbur, then I'll love it.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, that's.
I could come write an article about it or something.
Exactly. Remember that time when I taught you?
Yeah. You owe me.
Exactly. Where are my tickets? Where's my exclusive? Like, sorry.
Where's my press pass?
Exactly. No one else can interview me except for Shawn Hansen because he taught me back in the day.
Yeah, back in the day.
Exactly. Remember the time in Burlington when I was taught?
Taught 2 things.
Exactly. Multiple things.
And maybe
changed
I
my
can
life.
teach you something else before the show's over.
You never know.
Yeah.
The night is young.
And so there's the Providence Comedy Connection, and have you been to the Chicopee one at all?
I haven't.
Yeah.
The Providence one's an allure for me just because I have a lot of family down in southeastern Mass. My parents are still down there. Most of my friends are still down there. Like, all my family essentially is there. So it's easier for them to get there than to come in
definitely.
during the week or Sunday night into Cambridge.
To the studio and everything.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's a little bit less of a hassle. Parking down there is easier. It's just a simpler drive for them, quicker home. So.
Oh, have you been to that show yet at the studio where you have to like dress up as a different character? For Rick Jenkins?
No, I haven't seen that one.
Yeah, he'll have you like dress up as a different character and perform or something like that. So.
I haven't been to that one. I'll eagerly look forward to that then.
With that face, I'm not sure if you were looking forward to it.
If it's funny, I'll do it.
I like Michael Jackson, but I don't want to dress up like him.
Oh, geez, I'm probably embarrass myself with all the lyrics I know.
Yeah.
No other way to go with that.
Oh man.
Bad singing and Michael Jackson knowledge. Awkward.
So this upcoming spring, tell me a little bit about your schedule, where you're going to be performing, and how you juggle that with your newly marriage this past October and your job as well.
It's not that hard. I mean, I don't want to paint a picture like, oh my goodness, I have so much stuff going on. My life is it's in shambles.
Yeah.
I mean, it just you have to kind of weigh it out. Don't want to be out 3-4 nights in a row, or else then I'm not home.
Yeah.
I go into work early every morning so I can get my stuff done, and then even like tonight I hung around till 6 and got some extra time in. So juggling those things not too bad as long as I don't need at least at this point where I'm not booked solid. If I ever get to that point, which would be nice, then that'll be a whole other set of of issues to deal with, but all good stuff. As far as this spring, I'll be at Improv Boston on the 26th Saturday of this month for the nightcap. I will be in the Varsity Club, I think, on the 19th of April, and then now we're going far out. See if I can remember this. I will be the 18th of May. I'll be at the studio.
Oh wow, that's
and
good.
then the 12th and the 30th of June.
Of the
I'll
studio.
be at the studio.
Yeah.
So
Wow, that's perfect.
That's off the top of my head as best I can remember.
That's really good.
So.
All the way till May.
Yeah.
Wow. I can't even remember what I'm doing tomorrow.
I cheated. I looked at on my phone before we started, just in case you asked that. I knew. I could sense it.
We're in a high school, so maybe you should be careful going out. Principal might be out there.
I'm gonna have to take that phone, son.
We heard you cheated. Gonna have to expel you.
Exactly. You can't come back.
But unfortunately, we ran out of time. But
that was quick.
Yeah, it was. Like just flew by. But anyways, for more information about Jim Young, go to jimyoungcomedy.com. Not Steve Young Comedy.
Not Steve Young. Please don't go to Steve Young.
That's not a good website.
No, I don't know who.
Well, if it is, it might be. But Jim Young.
Don't go in case it's better than mine. We don't want people to see that.
But thanks for watching, everybody. Go to ShawnHansen.weebly.com for more information about my show and about what I do. And Jim Young, everybody. Thanks for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
All right.
Shawn Hansen's Comedy Corner is the best show that I know.